Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I want to talk about the Fling Machine Excel data analysis assignment for the Introduction to Engineering. First of all, I want to talk about viewing file extensions. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to press Command and the letter E, and this is going to open up the File Explorer. And in the top of this, you will see something, these File, Home, Share, and View options. So choose on the View ribbon, and over here it says if you look in the ribbon, it will say check item boxes or item check boxes, hidden items, that sort of thing. Make sure that file name extension is selected. Hidden items is probably good to leave unselected so you don't break something. So file name extensions is what we want to see. If you check that, then when you look at an Excel file, you will see that it indeed has the extension XLSX versus PowerPoint and JPEG and that sort of thing. So that little tidbit is out of the way. Let's look at the Fling Machine data analysis. Okay, what you're going to do is open a new workbook in Excel. You're going to rename Sheet 1 to Stats. In the first column, you're going to put your name, your period, and the Fling data as something in those columns. I will leave the format and that sort of thing up to you. In the third column, you're going to start a data table. You're going to title this first column Distance in Meters, and you're going to fill in your meter measurements using your Fling Machine data. You should have 30 data points. In the next column, title it Distance in Inches. And you're going to design a formula that will convert your meter measurements into inches. 1 inch is equal to 0.0254 meters. So convert those meter measurements to inches. Then you're going to perform some manual calculations to the right of the data table. Calculate the mean, the population standard deviation, the sample standard deviation, the range, and the multi-mode. You can arrange these any way you like. It should be very clear to me what the number is I am looking at. So be sure to include a label with your calculation. And on the multi-mode, I expect to see at least 4 cells in the output array. If you just do a single cell, we don't know if it's a multiple or not. So remember, this is the magic words here. Remember, Control-Shift-Enter. Then you're going to move on to descriptive statistics. To the right of the manual calculations you completed, you're going to generate the descriptive stats using the analysis tool pack. If for some reason descriptive or your data doesn't show the data analysis option, remember to choose File, Options, Add-ins, and you should see at the bottom of that window Excel Add-ins. Choose the button that says Go and choose the first option. It will say Data Analysis Tool Pack. Alright, so you're going to insert that, and then that should be just lovely at that point. Next, you're going to add a new sheet and name it Histogram. And in the first 2 columns, you're going to copy your data that you set up from your first sheet. And then using range divided by 6, you're going to develop a histogram of the data just like you did in the examples. So you'll have 7 bins and 6 columns when you're done. Label all supporting calculations and informations appropriately. I shouldn't just see numbers. You should be labeling those things so I know what it is I'm looking at. Then add a new sheet, rename it Empirical. And then in the first 2 columns, copy the data table from the first sheet. In the first 2 columns, that's what you do. Then you're going to use plus or minus 2 population standard deviations to develop a scatter plot of that data, so we can identify which are unacceptable and which are the 95% that are good data that describe how your catapult performed. Another tip I have is insert a column in front of the inch data called series and fill it with 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down to the bottom. Label the information appropriately as you have done in all the other worksheets, and the scatter plot needs lines at the upper and lower thresholds, so you have to include that upper and lower just like you did in the assignment. So it should look real similar to the assignment you did previously. Check to make sure you have all of the information on the 3 sheets, and then submit your XLS file in Canvas under this assignment.